How many times have you heard the words invest offshore recently? Because those words go around a lot, especially when the economy, the politics and news is filled with negativity. Now that by itself as a reason should not be why you want to invest offshore, because there is no real benefit in making decisions with money without a plan. And in this video, we're going to address how to invest offshore and the things that you need to consider so that you have a purpose for that investment up next. Hey guys, welcome back to Money Talks with me, Nabeel Khan, where we get real in the conversation about money for you to build the right mindsets, habits, and education in your journey to financial freedom. And just like every journey that we take, we need to know where we are going before we even start. Makes sense, right? So why should we invest offshore? Well, we invest to grow our wealth over time, right? And we covered where to invest and asset allocation and risk in the How to Invest series. So go check those two videos out if you haven't, and then come back here. You see, offshore assets gives your investment plan exposure into regions and industries to invest in that aren't available locally. And that's just another opportunity for you to grow your money in two ways. Number one, the growth of those asset classes. That's shares in large companies like Alphabet, Apple, etc. Offshore bonds, offshore property companies, and cash. Number two, currency hedging, which means protection from the rand locally getting weaker. So if the rand gets weaker or inflation gets higher, your money in another currency is worth more rands and can buy you more in value. Now, this doesn't mean that offshore investing is better than local investing, and there are definitely risk profiles that apply to offshore investing, but at least by understanding all the opportunities and risks, we can understand why we are looking to invest offshore in the first place, so we can create a plan and have a strategy. So, considering there's a plan to invest offshore, how can you do it? Check it out. Kevin is in a position to be able to commit money for at least 8 years to diversify his investment plan offshore. He has two options to consider: investing money directly offshore and investing offshore indirectly. When investing directly offshore, Kevin needs to consider that he is limited to taking 1 million rand offshore a year without tax clearance. This million includes his foreign currency when traveling, and limited to a further 10 million rand a year offshore, but he needs tax clearance and Reserve Bank permission to do so. If all is well in his plan and taxes, he has two methods of investing the foreign currency. Number one, he can send money directly offshore to invest through a South African offshore-based platform like Isle of Man into a unit trust or endowment holding assets in funds. Or he can invest directly through any non-South African linked offshore service provider, investing in funds or investing in actual physical assets. What Kevin needs to consider between the two is, if he is directly investing without a South African linked company, his tax reporting and estate duty is in his hands to manage, and is important that his plan accounts for who is doing this and how much does it cost considering estate duty tax payable in that country. He also has to make sure that he has an offshore will to state how his offshore assets are dealt with when he passes away. Now, Kevin also wants to invest a smaller amount per month into an offshore asset fund to have the diversity in his long-term investment plan, and realizes that, as possible as it is, most of the direct offshore investments have a minimum investment requirement of over $2,500 and are admin intensive to transact with. This is where Kevin can consider investing indirectly offshore through most local investment vehicles like unit trusts or tax-free accounts into an offshore feeder fund, which is basically a local currency-based fund where Kevin can invest rands and the fund invests offshore on behalf of its investors. All transactions are reported in rands, and if cashed out, dealt in rands with all local tax laws, but the same performance as a direct offshore equivalent. Now, there's the biggest thing that you need to consider when thinking about investing offshore, and that is your finances. Where are you in financial life stage? You know, it's easy to hear people talk negatively and think about moving assets offshore for any particular reason, but not a backed reason that makes sense for your money in your life today. An example would be taking your money offshore and investing offshore because somebody's talking about a wonderful currency thing that's going on with regards to our economy, and you go and take your deposit that you had for your house, because offshore investing is high risk, and put it offshore in a feeder fund or directly offshore. And then when it comes to actually buying your place, but my investment is down and I need to put the deposit down today. What do I do? So before you make a decision about your future based on someone else's limited perspective or opinion, understand that the real problems or cons of any type of investment are the mistakes that you will make from not learning and understanding for yourself what you are doing in your journey to your financial freedom. And on that note, thanks for watching, guys. I really hope this helped you in your perspective when thinking or considering to invest offshore. And don't forget to please drop a comment below. The best tips and feedback come from you guys. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel and click on the bell notification so you never miss a video. Share this video to help one more person in their journey with money, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Run away.